Hey, did you go to line masterminds?
No, I didn't.
Cam, how's the back feel? These first few days of camp, you're still limited. How's that feel?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, last thing I had after the season was surgery, so didn't get to do much in OTA. So right now it's just a time to get back into football and see how it's feeling. And, it's going good, but, with every injury, you got to progress slowly and get back to where you want to be. It's feeling good so far.
Have you at all had perspective on going into the NFC Championship game and the physical pain that you were in, the condition that you were in, and kind of what it took to play as you played?
Yeah, it just felt impossible physically all week for most of the playoffs, and it's just got to mentally will yourself to say you're good, keep going, press on, get through it. It helps when you're going through and everybody else is dealing with stuff, and you got to be there for the guys, and that's just the name of the game.
Most pain you've ever had in a game? Most pain you've ever played with?
Yeah.
Cam, you've been next to Tyler Steen throughout this all season. How do you think he's acclimating himself in right now?
He's doing good. Yeah, he's taking strides. He's getting a lot better. He's being, a lot more accountable. He's got so much talent. We're starting to see it. Anybody over here?
I was going to ask you the same thing, yes.
Yeah, we were just talking through Singleton, and he said, though, Steen was saying how hard he doesn't believe this touchdown. Do you see that you're seeing here with the Eagles?
I think he had a good season last year. I'd be happy with that one again. So we'll see.
You've seen Moro now for a few years. How much has he improved?
A lot, a lot. He works just as hard as anybody on this team and puts a lot of effort in, and not just in the weight room, but just on the field. I mean, he puts in a lot of time, and he was kind of like a little pest to deal with his first year here. He just worked and played so hard, and now he's got a lot of those tools, and he's a lot stronger than he was, and just talking from Fletch and BG and learning from them guys, like all those little tips and tricks, and I mean, he's tough to go against now, really tough.
Looks like the defense is this year. It seems like it's more chaos out there. They're really pushing you. Can you talk about that a little bit? It just seems like they're locked in on causing as much chaos for you guys.
Yeah, well, every team does it a little differently. A lot of teams will try to install certain things for the week, and so first week of practice, you're gonna have a few plays you're running, and every week you're gonna install more. Same thing with defense, but here, our defense just has everything installed for first practice, and we are slowly getting all our stuff in. Yeah, so they got a lot more in, so, it should be a lot more chaotic for them. They got their whole playbook in, and, we're practice 4. We got a long ways to get our stuff installed yet.
That's good for you guys, right?
What's that?
That's obviously good for you guys.
Yeah, no, it is good. We're running plays into looks that we shouldn't be because – that's just what we have in right now. So it's great for us, mentally and physically, because we got to make plays work. We got to make some different calls and do a different blocking scheme and just, make bad plays work. That's what we're doing right now.
You got against Jordan Davis a good amount over the last few years, I guess. Is it as different to go against him this year as he looks? Obviously looks a lot different.
I'm still getting limited reps right now, but he's doing a good job so far. First day with pads, so it's hard to tell just from one practice. I don't really count any of the practices without pads. They're fake. It's not football. 7-on-7 doesn't matter. Stop tweeting about stats or whatnot. It doesn't matter.
Cam, you guys collectively, offensive line, what's it like to collectively challenge each other to get better and better and better? Is there a lot of talk about that, or does it just come kind of, naturally?
I think it comes naturally. I think it just comes from, the level and standard being so high that you just don't want to let people down. And, when you got a close bond to the guys in the room like you do and you care about them, you just don't want to let them down. I think that's kind of where it's at.
Cam, you mentioned the limited reps. So Drew Kendall's getting some looks there. How do you feel he's acclimating or just kind of Drew Kendall?
Oh, good. I think mentally he's doing a really good job of picking things up and playing at a speed. It's been good so far. See how the day went, but I like him. He's a good dude.
Thanks, Cam.
Hey, Moro, how would you assess how camp is going for you this year as opposed to maybe your previous 2 seasons?
Yeah, I think just starting out, having more reps than I'm used to, and getting acclimated to that and kind of just getting used to being on the field more.
What did you learn from a player like Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis on just perfecting your craft and how to rush passer?
Everything. I think that your ability to learn from people is the best, and I've picked up a ton from both of those guys. And, we have so many amazing players in each position group, and it's a really cool place to be just because of that. Young guys all around.
What's the biggest thing you learned from Carter so far?
He's smart, I don't know whether guys realize it, but a lot of things he does are very thoughtful, very instinctual. His ability to use his power, use his finesse, his ability to kind of see plays, and when you see those superhuman plays, he's seeing something on the field, right?
You talked about those extra reps. How big is today? A day like today, it's hot. You got shoulder pads, not full pads, but how does that help you?
You're just getting used to the sun, getting used to the pads. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to get better. First day of pads.
Were you expecting these extra reps coming into camp? Did they tell you in the off season to get ready for a heavier workload?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Prepare any differently? How did you prepare?
No, I think the biggest key for this team this year is just to evolve, right? And I think that's what you have to do in life. Never stay the same.
Where do you feel your biggest improvement was from last year to this year?
Just playing the game fast and understanding what the offense is giving you. Taking opportunities.
Extra reps for you this year?
100%, right? That's kind of the way of the way the Eagles have gone, right? Hargrave was gone, Milt stepped into that. Milt is gone, and now I'm getting an opportunity.
How much confidence does the way you ended last season give you as you do, kind of assess if you're ready for that part of the role?
It gives me all the confidence. It also gives me confidence to go versus the best offensive line here, A lot of guys don't get to ramp up into training camp and deal with this. I know every game's going to be easy once you go versus this offensive line.
What's been your early impressions of having
Steen has got incredible talent, and I know he's hungry, and he's high tides raise all ships, right? He's got Pro Bowlers, multi-year guys next to him. He's going to be ready.
You talked about the lineage of guys leaving, the next guy kind of steps up. As a young player in this building, how much did that kind of show you the route that could be there for you?
Showed me everything. Keep your head down and kind of wait your turn. At the end of the day, this is a talented organization, all right? And just keep working, and things will work out for you.
You and Lane talking when you were walking off the field there. I guess what was his message to you?
Lane is a football junkie, and when you have a guy like that, you ask him tons of things. We had a rep today where I think earlier, one day ago, I did something and it worked on him, and today he changed it and it didn't work on him, and we were just kind of, messing around with that, and I was like, oh wow,
Yeah, I saw you have been working a little bit on the edge. Is that something you've done much in your career, and what do you like about the edge?
Not really. I think the more you can do, the better, and I think that's the kind of goal for us as a defense. Like I said, evolve.
Lots been made of Jordan. Admitted he lost 26 pounds. What have you seen from him this year versus last year?
Everything, man. Jordan's working his butt off. It's that room, the competition in that room, the accountability in that room. I'm so excited for the steps he's going to take this year.
Moro, were there more line games today, like in practice, out there than normal the first 2 days?
Maybe a little bit. We're in pads, so trying to see stuff and kind of just see what it goes on.
The athletes that you guys have, do you feel like that's one of your, as a team, biggest strengths?
Yeah, I think we want to improve in all facets, and we look at it, and I don't think we ran much games last year, so maybe we want to incorporate that a little bit more this year.
In either of these practices, what advice can you give a young player like Ty Robinson when you're working with him?
Man, it's a grown man sport. We're here to compete, and we're here to get better. We're here to raise the level, right? No one's worried about last year, right? Everybody's worried about this year. So it's, at the end of the day, it's a competition. right? So keep going, Ty, as I'm going to chase the person in front of me.
Moro, fan?
It was great, man. It's a great place to be, and we've got tons of Nigerians in the league, and it was really cool.
What was this offseason like for you?
It was great, but it was short, and rightfully so. Hungry, like I said, obsessed with evolving. That's my mindset. Just always getting better, always taking a step forward, improving.
Fangio's talked about in the past how you're a little different defensive tackle, a little lighter than maybe most. How do you use that to your advantage?
I use it in many ways. I think I strike like I'm big and I move like I'm small.
You said you're obsessed with evolving. What does that evolution look like in terms of you as a passer?
I think focusing on some go-to moves, and you want pass rush to get to the point where you're not thinking. It's fluid. It's almost deja vu. I've done this 100,000 times, and I'm going to do 100,000 more.
Grant, what do you see from with Kevin's offense? Is it a lot different?
Yeah, I mean, it's early. I think one of the biggest things we're doing right now is using motion, getting guys in different places and trying to, marry things off each other to kind of make everything look similar and keep the defense on their toes.
What's been the biggest difference with him stylistically? 'Cause obviously he was within the organization, but with him taking over the
Stylistic, it's hard to say. I mean, I've known Kevin for, I guess, 4 years now. I think he's really good at commanding the room. He hasn't had that role since I've been here, so it's kind of been different seeing him in that leadership role. But I think he's done a really good job of being positive and emphasizing things that we need to get better on and focus on for the day. So I think stylistically he's been a really good leader and a good a good voice to have in the room.
What was your perspective on the uncertainty that Dallas had this offseason?
I guess I really wasn't paying a lot of attention to it. Dallas and I are really close. Obviously, I wanted him, as a teammate to be in the room. So I'm definitely happy to have him back.
Grant, last year you had a lot of success when Dallas was out, and I wonder what that did for your game, for your confidence as you move into this season.
Yeah, it definitely gave me some confidence. I've always felt that I'm a good tight end, becoming more of a complete tight end. So I'm just looking to improve and watch the film from last year and find ways to continue to get better.
When you say complete tight end, can you just talk about what, in your mind, what that means?
Yeah, a threat in the run game and a threat in the pass game. I think, there's not too many, two-way complete tight ends in this league anymore. I think there's a lot of pass catchers and a lot of run blockers, and I think when you can be really good at both, that's when you become a real threat. Sweet. Thank you.
So this time last year, you're still in Washington. How big has it been to have spring practices, the whole offseason, training camp from the start, that whole body work?
Yeah, it's huge. Coming in last year, I think I got here the Friday before the last preseason game. So, it was kind of playing catch up all year, learning the offense on the fly. But, this year, being that I was able to be with the guys, all OTAs, all training camp, it's a good feeling. And it helps me learn the offense and just play faster.
In your mind, when do you feel you caught up to everything after the whirlwind of last season?
Last year was just it was a big learning process for me with learning the offense, learning how things work around here, being introduced to a new organization. But I felt like I picked up on it real fast. Coach Sirianni is really good with explaining what exactly he wants you to do, what he demands from your players. He made it really easy for me. Extra time with Amo was really good for me. So, I picked up on it real fast, and, I feel like I have a good beat on it now.
How much has Amo helped you?
What do you bring to the receiving room? You got the Dotson, you got AJ. You coming out of Penn State, the catch radius was the same. That was one of your strengths. year two here? What are you bringing up this year?
Yeah, I would say some versatility, for sure. I'm kind of the guy who can pretty much play everywhere. Going back to me coming in late last year and kind of learning the offense on the fly and not missing a beat. That was a big thing for me. So, I feel like I'm a guy who you can throw me in anywhere, X, Y, Z, F, and, I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to make it happen. And that's what, the team has kind of looked to me for, being kind of a spark plug when we need a play. I'm going to make the most of my opportunities when they come my way.
How do you feel your chemistry with Jalen Hurts has improved? Obviously since last year, but even this off-season camp, how do you feel that's improved?
Yeah, it's improved tremendously. Having the whole OTAs with him, training camp. I was down in Houston, throwing with him a couple times. So it's been big for me. Just gaining that trust for him. Him knowing exactly where I'm going to be on certain routes. And kind of getting the familiarity with each other. It's been real good. We've been building a connection during this offseason and looking forward to taking it into the season.
How did those throwing sessions in Houston, how did that come to be? Did he invite you down? Were you just in the same place?
Yeah, I was actually down there training with a former teammate of mine at Penn State, Parker Washington. And obviously that's where Jalen's from. And, I hit him out, told him I was in the area, and we connected pretty much every week. So it was real good just to be around him and get with him and build that trust.
The way you ended last season, like the regular season, playoffs,
What was that?
the way you ended last season, in the regular season, obviously, and then into the playoffs, you had a big catch in the Super Bowl. How much do you think that momentum can kind of carry over for you into this season as far as, everything?
I mean, as much as I wanted to. It's up to me to produce. It's up to me to really, come out here every day and make it happen. I felt like last year, I was picking up along the way, and it really showed later in the season as I was gaining more trust with Jalen, becoming very familiar with the offense. It's up to me. I've been here whole OTAs, training camp, so I have no excuse this year. I'm going to make it happen whenever my opportunity is called upon.
With all that time that you had in the OTAs, the offseason, and now, how much do you feel free to have input with Kevin Petula, others in the coaching staff that maybe you didn't have before?
Yeah, I mean, I talk to them. I talk to the guys a lot, Amo, KP, but it's their offense at the end of the day. It's my job to do my job to the best of my ability, and that's what I'm going to do every time I'm on the field. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, be where I'm supposed to be, and make the plays that I'm supposed to make.
There were stretches last year where you could have target for like 3, 4, 5 games. You always stay positive when we talk to you. You never seem to get down. How do you get through that, navigate that period?
Yeah, younger me wouldn't have handled that very well. Being a receiver, obviously everyone wants the ball. That's just a part of who we are. But it's bigger than me at the end of the day. I got a family to feed. I got whatever's asked upon me, whether that's coming in, running a clear out route, whether that's catching a bubble screen. And if that's going to be my only target today, that's going to be my only target today. But, I gotta make the most of it. Being in this offense with a bunch of very high caliber offensive players, you got to make the most of your opportunities. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm asked upon to do here. And that's what's going to happen.
What are your thoughts about not having your 5th-year option picked up?
I kind of knew that was going to happen coming into a new situation. But you got to earn it every year you come out here. Nothing's guaranteed. And that's what I'm going to do. Every day I come out here, I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to work. And I'm going to make it happen.
Does that change your thought process now entering what would be described as a contract year?
No, not at all. Every time I step on this field, I do what I'm supposed to do. I make sure I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be. And I keep saying I'm going to make it happen, but that's what I'm asked to do, so I'm going to do that.
You made that big catch at the very beginning of the Super Bowl, and even though it was pulled back, that set the tone the entire game. That had to make you feel good.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a good feeling. You know, all the hard work, you know, putting in all year to come up in those moments, kind of the biggest moments you ever think about as a player. It was definitely a pretty cool opportunity I got. We were working on that play all week, and when Jalen came in the huddle and said my name, you know, I knew it was go time, and I knew I had to make a play for the team, and I was able to do so.
You mentioned younger you may have had more difficulty with that. Was there a point where it turned for you that you said, all right, this is, you know, I've learned to excel at this?
Yeah, for sure. It was honestly probably earlier in the year, getting traded here, realizing that, you know, your job in the NFL, your job isn't safe anywhere you go. You got to be on your P's and Q's, and you know, being able to come here and play alongside great guys and learn from them. It really helped me grow as a player. I feel like I really grew mentally as a player last year, and I feel like it's gonna really help me this year. I was trying to get out of 83 all year last year. Two opened up, and I thought it would be a really cool opportunity. Thank you, guys.
What advice did you talk to Saquon Barkley or anybody that was here before, or you know, that could convince you to come here? Or?
Yeah, it was great when I signed here. I was happy, super happy to be here. Excited to get back with some old guys that I knew back in Georgia, where I came from, and it's just amazing to get here and get to work.
I asked Uche about your relationship. You guys came in here together. He said, you know, you have Nigerian roots and you go way back, working out or whatever. What is your relationship like with him?
Yeah, man, me and Uche, we go way back, working out in the off season together and stuff. I always knew him when he was at the Patriots. You know, my Nigerian brother right there, and it's great to connect here together now.
You're with Jordan Davis when the last time he said he was 330, his sophomore year in Georgia. Like, what do you think of his transformation?
Jordan's a freak, man. He's a freak athlete. He's a big guy. He could do it all, and it's amazing to see it every day when he come out here and work hard and put it all together.
What has the dynamic been like in the meeting room with your position group? Because the guys who have been here are obviously much younger.
Yeah, man, it's been great, man. We're all pushing each other, learning from each other. We're trying to get better every day. We all just taking it one day at a time, just trying to get better, listening to the coaches and try to see how we can improve every day.
What are you seeing from Nolan Smith and Jalen Smart? I mean, like Dave was saying, they're young guys. And what have you noticed about them?
Yeah, they're two freak athletes, man. They could do it all, and they push each other every day. I love the way they work out here. They work hard. I love seeing it.
How does it help going against that offensive line? You've got a handful of those first-team reps. You got Jordan on the other side.
It's amazing, man. You know, they're the best in the game, man. Those two tackles we got, man, they're amazing, and they're the best at what they do. And it's a great competition for us every single day, pushing us every day to continue to improve and get better in our game.
Them in actual games, now that you get a chance to pick their brains, what's that process been like?
It's amazing. We're on the same team now. I get to learn from them at practice and take it to add it to my game, push myself, get better every single day because I'm seeing them consistently now, and it's just better. I'm just going to continue to improve with them.
Now that you've been here through a summer, how do you see that this organization might be the right decision for you in a one-year deal, and how to prove yourself?
Yeah, it's just amazing to be here, work hard, kind of continue to get better, improve as a player, and just at the end of the day, the goal is to win, and I'm here to do that.
Is there a lot of difference between as an edge rusher for a Vic Fangio scheme as opposed to some of the others you've been in?
I feel like at the edge position, you always got to, you know, whatever the scheme is, play hard, set the edge, rush the passer. You know, you had to do it all at a high level, do it the best you can, and try to continue to improve as a player every single day, whatever the scheme is, you know, and continue to learn it and adapt to it.
In your career, in terms of technique, is there stuff that Jeremiah Washburn has offered that's new or a different way of looking at things?
Yeah, I just love the way he coaches every day. He attacks every single day, and he brings it every day, and it makes us want to bring it too. And the energy is great every day. Everything he's teaching us, the extra work we're doing, and he pushes us every day, and is amazing, man. We're all getting better.
In the spring, you said you go with 17 games, right?
For sure.
What are you doing either behind the scenes or different and in the past that can help you get there?
Man, I'm just working on everything, man. The training room, the strength, staff, just keeping everything aligned and just taking it one day at a time. Don't, just stay hydrated, keep doing the main thing, keep the main thing, and come to work every day, just ready to work and keep improving for real. That's it.
Getting a fresh start, how do you think that's been for you?
For me, I feel like it's been great, coming out here, knowing people out here already, players, teammates that I've been with before. It's been great. Everyone out here, they're great teammates, great people to be around, like Saquon, we back at the Giants, Adoree here too. So it's really been comfortable. It's been cool to mesh with those guys again and just put in work with those guys I've been working with.
How'd you get Uche to give you a 13?
He knew I wore it in college, and he said he was cool with it, and he was like, "Cool, you get back to your old roots, old number."
Did you have to ask him?
No, Uche was cool with it. Like he didn't really care. He just swapped it out when he was able to get 0, so he just went to 0, and I went 13.
Did he talk to you? Did you sign before him, and did he ask you what you thought about coming here?
I think he signed first, and then I signed, or I don't remember. I don't really remember.
I guess you talk to him then. If you signed first, you didn't ask him hey, what did you like about?
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't remember who signed who, but we were all happy to be here. What you say?
You guys add you to the group text here?
Oh yeah, you said group text? Oh yeah, we've been having one. We've been talking the whole time. Even when I was still in the Giants, we all still communicated, and we chop it up every day, every other day, whenever we got a chance to.
Y'all just count kind of what he did in the games. We're counting everything he did during the week as well. And when we have to limit, we have to limit. But we show up on Sunday for games. I mean, he knows it too. There's times where he's going to get in, he's going to get a bunch of carries and that. There's going to be other times where he doesn't. And that's the great thing that we have to be as an offense is when we talk about, hey, you want to complement it, well, we got to be able to win games throwing the ball. We got to win games running the ball. And whatever it takes for us to do as a team, everybody's got to be involved.
So does he have the freedom to kind of decide when he comes off or not? Historically, you see
sometimes
coaches, yeah.
Sometimes, and I think that's the part of with Saquon, with where he's at in his career. He understands his body. He knows what it takes, and that's part of the relationship we were able to build to get a feel for. I've always felt as a coach like there's tells that a player gives when he's tired, right? And then there's tells that he gives when he's exhausted. And there's two different things. I've always said tired guys fumble. So I don't want an exhausted guy on the field because he can drop the ball and those things can happen. But he's got a great feel for when he can be in, when he's got 3 or 4 carries back to back and he needs a break, we'll get a blow and we'll get another guy in there. And that's where the depth of our position becomes really important. It's not always just going to be Saquon. We need that next guy and that third guy to step in at times and make sure that we don't skip a beat. Now, obviously, Saquon's probably a one-on-one, but we've got some really good players that can help back him up.
You've been places before where you've had workhorses. How historically have you found handling that in season versus maybe the season that happened before and his number?
The majority for me is it's during the week. It's Monday to Saturday. That's where I'm involved with his rest. That's where I'm involved in his load. That's where I'm involved in all that. When we get to the game, we got to do what we can to win. And it may take him to do 35 carries, it may take him to do 10 carries, but I think that's the part that we have a feel for. And then, if you're running 60-yard touchdowns and not getting touched, you're coming off the field anyway, so that part's pretty good.
So in that Monday to Saturday, in his second year with him, what have you learned that, works? Maybe he can get more rest here than there?
Yeah, I really, to be honest with you, I really felt we've got a good plan with how we instituted it with different things, and even with just our meetings and those type of things of where we can catch an extra meeting in here, there, and that. But I think he's on a good plan. We've got our strength and conditioning department is awesome. I mean, when you look at that, our training, the amount of things that he has to help him prepare to get ready for the next game. First off, recover from the last game and get ready for the next game. So when you have an organization like we have here and the people we have in those places, there's so many hands that are involved in making sure he was recovered and making sure he's getting ready to go in the next game.
When you look at the backup battle here, would you call it a backup with A.J. Dillon and Will Shipley, or are their roles so different that it's a different dynamic there?
Obviously, they're two different players, right? You can look at it, you just start with the measurables. They measure differently, right? And that's the part. But for them, it's always a battle. It's always a battle for them to work, to get on the field, to get playing time. And are there different roles that they can play? Absolutely. And I think that one of the biggest pieces for us in the running back room is the special teams piece. I think last year showed that our room can be pretty productive in special teams, and we expect that to be the same thing this year. So Will's going to get special teams work. AJ's going to get special teams work, and that's the part that you look at. You can't go through a season with running back. right? Nobody's had one starter and nobody else played on the field. So, I mean, we had 3 last year that could go in the game and produce, and I hope we're going to have this exact same thing this year. How that plays out per play, don't know at this point, but we got to have all 3 of those guys ready, and maybe there's some guys that we haven't talked about yet that could come up and really make some things happen.
Really just trying to get stronger, working on my body, making sure that I was going to be able to come into camp 100%, and then just going from there. Yeah.
How much growth have you seen in yourself since, not even your rookie year, but even last year?
A lot, yeah. I honestly think I grew more last year than I did my rookie year. I think just getting that opportunity to go in there and play and get some experience and just getting more and more comfortable at guard and those types of things. I think it really helped me just kind of gain some confidence going into this year.
You worked with them last year, but what's the communication process like with Lane and Cam, and how comfortable you are?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I've been here. I'm going through my 3rd year, so I know those guys. I know to communicate with them, and so I think that part's been really good. It's just knowing that it's better to over communicate than under communicate. It's pretty good.
Lane has said that you've gotten stronger in recent years. What have you done, and is there a way to quantify that? Do you feel that it's showing in terms of what you're doing?
Yeah, just working with the people here, doing some other things in the off season, like working on your feet, working on posterior chain, just different things like that I think really helps when you're playing just O-line in general. Stopping bull rushes, moving people in the run game, so things like that. Yeah.
You've had some good battles with Moro so far here.
Yeah.
What's kind of your scouting report on him and what you've seen so far?
Yeah, Moro's really explosive. I feel like he's always been a really good player. We saw that. I came in with him, so I saw it like his rookie year. I saw it last year, and so I don't think it's really a surprise that he's able to, go out there and make plays. He's really explosive, really good with his hands. He's strong, real technical. So, I don't think it's a surprise that he's able to be able to go out there and perform.
What are your expectations for yourself in the line as you kind of evolve and new offensive coordinator? There's a strength of the team last year.
Yeah. I think we got a really veteran room. I think we got a lot of guys that have played a lot of football, and obviously really talented guys. All pros pretty much across the board. I think a lot of that is just continuing on what we were able to do good last year, focusing on what we weren't able to do as well, and so just continuing to grow, continue to get more comfortable with each other, continue to work through things that when they come up and solve those issues.
Do you have a different mindset this year as far as the competition is concerned, as opposed to maybe last year when you and Mackay? Has that changed at all?
No, I think whenever you're in a competition, the mindset's always the same. You always want to go out there and put your best foot forward. You just want to go out there and just kind of. You don't really want to focus on the outside things. You just want to focus on doing your job at the best of your ability. And just going forward from there.
How eager are you to get this starting role?
Extremely eager. I mean, everybody wants to play. I want to play. I want to start. So, I'm pretty eager to do that.
This time last year, you were dealing with some injuries in camp. How good do you feel right now to have had the full off season and to be healthy, taking reps with the ones, all that?
Yeah, I feel really good. I feel like my body feels really good. I don't think last year was a case that I wasn't taking care of my body. I think it was just an accident or whatever the case is. But I feel good. My body feels good. I think we're coming along as an offensive line, and obviously we still got a lot of camp left and a lot of work to do. So I'm looking forward to it.
You mentioned Moro earlier. How do you feel like he's making you better as you go up against each other in camp here?
Yeah, I think Moro I think the D-line as a collective is, extremely talented. We have a lot of guys in that defensive line that do a lot of really good things. And I think being able to do that and go against that in practice, I think helps us out a lot because, it's going to make the game that much easier.
Do you find that some people are sleeping on Moro, kind of like Milt Williams last year?
Yeah, I don't think anybody in the building has been sleeping on Moro.
No, I think outside.
I guess, I think everybody thinks Moro's a pretty good player, and when he produces, I don't think it's a surprise to anybody on the team.
Tyler, you came in a lot mid-game last season. What kind of mentality is required to be able to carry that out?
Yeah, I think that really has to go with a lot with just preparing throughout the week, preparing like you're the starter. I think. Yeah, just preparing throughout the week like you're a starter, and then I mean going in there, it's a little tougher just because you're cold, going in big game. But I think just having that same mindset and knowing that you're already prepared, going in there with confidence and talking to the guys that have been in the game, and then just going from there.
And you're thinking about that.
Yeah, I remember when I was in New England, Zach had, texted me while he was still in New Orleans, and we had a little conversation. And I mean, even back when we were first coming out, we trained together, and, we built that connection out in Arizona training. And, when I talked to him about coming here to Philly, I mean, I could just see it in his eyes, like what Philly meant to him. And, being me who coming from New England and, the situation I was in and all that stuff, that energy I fed off of that instantly, I felt it. So from there, I felt like this was the best place to give me that chance that I know, to capitalize on what I could do.
Why number 0?
Number 0, it was a couple of things, man. It was a great opportunity to parlay number 13 to my guy Azeez, who wore it in college, and so on and so forth. But I felt like you got to start at ground zero, right? I've been at the top of my pass rushing game in, my 3rd year, but you got to start from ground zero and work your way back up. So.
Having an example like Zach, a guy who came on a 1-year deal and earned a long-term deal, is that something that matters to you?
Of course, it just shows what kind of organization this is. They're able to bring guys in, give them a chance, build around them, help them fulfill their potential, and, turn them into something beautiful, beautiful product. So I think it just says a lot about the organization, says a lot about the players, says a lot about the coaching. So it's well-rounded.
What are your expectations for your role with the Eagles?
Just taking it one day at a time. Whatever the coach is asking me, I'm willing to do. And I'm going to do. So just taking it one day at a time, one step at a time.
Did you guys run more games today up front than in the first 3 practices?
Oh, man. I mean, we're going to have to go back to the film and check that out, But I know, Coach, it was a call a day. So whatever we've got dialed up, we had to run it today.
You mentioned the 2022 season you have. What's your perspective on the following 2 years after, and what did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, it was, interesting. My 4th year, we had a bunch of situations, It just, the stars, I guess, it was rough. We had some injuries, Coach Belichick retired, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And that year after, ended up getting traded to Kansas City, so couldn't, foundation-wise and all that stuff. But, look, the past is the past. I'm focused on being here in Philadelphia with the guys, working to get better, working to become the player I know I can be, and just help the team win, most importantly.
But, Josh, how have those experiences helped prepare you to maximize this moment?
It's important. You can't get experience without going through some things, right? You got to go through something to get to something. So, shaped me into the player I am today. I'm 26 years old, 6 years in the league now. So, it's giving me experience.
I don't know if this is a scrummer.
It's giving me a perspective on appreciating the game and being with my people.